Alright, that's it. We're gonna go live now.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Alright, that's it. We're going live. Boom. All right. I think that's it. We're on. Okay. Christina, let me know if everything's good over there. Jesus
Jamie.
Christ. All right.
Is that today's map?
No, hold on. What am I trying to do? All right, so hold on. Let's start the thing with this video.
Я хочу еще раз все-таки подчеркнуть это. Я говорил, но мне очень бы хотелось, чтобы вы меня услышали все-таки в конце концов. И донесли это до своих читателей, зрителей и пользователей в интернете. Но вы понимаете или нет, что если Украина будет в НАТО и военным путем будет возвращать себе Крым, европейские страны автоматически будут втянуты в военный конфликт с Россией. Конечно, значит, потенциал объединенной организации НАТО и России несопоставим. Мы понимаем. Но мы также и понимаем, что Россия одна из ведущих ядерных держав. А по некоторым компонентам, по современности даже многих опережает. Победителей не будет. И вы окажетесь втянутыми в этот конфликт помимо своей воли. И вы даже не успеете глазом моргнуть, когда будете исполнять пункт 5 Римского договора. Господин президент, конечно, не хочет этого развития. И я не хочу. И я не хочу. Поэтому он здесь и находится, и мучает меня уже 6 часов подряд.
Мучает меня 6 часов.
Poor guy.
All right, so we all witnessed that. We all saw that. What's going on here? Can't zoom in. What's going on?
Yeah, that's there.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. All right, so Andre, где ты?
I told you.
Get in there. I can't even see. Jeez. So, look.
No, I'm trying to.
So look, you're Ukrainian. Arthur's part Ukrainian. What's going on the streets of Brighton? What did you hear? What's going on from the home country? You obviously got troops on the ground. Maybe not in the eastern part of Ukraine, right? But still in Kiev. What's going on over there?
I don't know, man. To be honest, it's the first time I'm hearing about this. I knew it was coming, but I'm still kind of not up to date on everything that's been happening. So that's what Arthur's here for.
Yeah, it's funny. Biden was off by 1 week.
No, I saw he was saying something like, "Oh, I'm sure he's going to be invading in the next couple of days." So that actually did end up being true.
Yeah.
So I guess Biden is still not fully gone, but
He probably would have invaded last week. He just
Yeah.
it wasn't for that speech.
yeah.
That's what I think. All right, so look, this is Ukraine. This is the southern, southeastern part, right? The Donbas. This has been always getting attacked, right, Andre?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Since Crimea, so it has. So this part
that's where
right
the war's
here,
going on.
this part over here is, I guess it's a lot of Russian troops are in here. They're not Russian troops, but like Russian citizens are in here. The majority of the people are Russian in this area, and most of these people are Ukrainian. And Putin, what he's been saying now since he went in, let me pull up a map.
You know, one thing I've heard from people that were over there, like during the past decade or so, they say that in certain areas the situation is so bad that they actually prefer to be conquered by Russia.
Oh God, what are you talking about?
They're saying that the living conditions there are so terrible that nobody's doing anything about it. And they said that after Crimea was fucking taken over by Russians, the living conditions became a lot better. So a lot of people are supporting Russia while living in Ukraine,
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
which is insane.
Their culture will be gone though.
Dude.
Yeah, but that's up to them to decide. Like, I don't know what. Like, if they want to fight it, they'll fight it.
Dude, that's ridiculous though, because freaking think about it. They're getting wiped out. It's basically like you're building your sandcastle. Of course, Crimea, it's going to be bad, but it's basically they built their sandcastle. They're trying to be in the independent country, and then Russia comes around, destroys everything. You know what I mean? And then they got to start over. And now you're going to say that it's better to be under the aggressor? It's ridiculous.
Do you know if they want just that region or the whole country?
Well, that's how it starts.
Well,
with just piece by
exactly.
piece.
Well, at first, how it started is they wanted just Crimea,
Yeah.
and then they took that over, and nobody did anything. And you heard him. He said if Ukraine joins NATO, there's going to be nuclear war.
Right. So why not just not invade Ukraine so that we can avoid that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, Like, if you know that this is going to end bad, why are you still going along with it? Like, how important is this piece of land to you, and why?
Yeah, why? Why does he want it?
Like, why are you willing to go fucking start World War III and have a nuclear winter? Like, there's got to be something else to it.
Well, what I think it is, also,
What is it, like a pride thing? Is it an ego thing? I don't
well, what you
understand
got to
anymore.
think about too is think about how the old Soviet Union was. You know what I mean? Old Soviet Union. What did they? They went in. They got Georgia too, Moldova, and let's not be kid ourselves. Belarus, they're a puppet state. They'll
Yep.
do anything. They got troops lined up in Belarus ready to do. If Putin says jump, they'll say how high.
Right.
You know, and it's scary. But the thing is, what they don't want is because they know they can't get Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia. I mean, they can, but because they're in NATO, they don't have that influence. So anytime Putin wants to do anything, let's say in Belarusian, because Belarus is deeper in Europe, right? Putin can basically use Belarus as a puppet state. Do this, they take their money and they treat them as second-class citizens, you know? And Ukraine, once it's independence, and it has the independence, but now it wants to join the NATO and eventually the EU, and Putin won't have that, he won't have that pull. It's like think about it. It's like having your best friend or something, and you can get favors from him. But it goes beyond that.
You know how much time is left on his term? I'm just curious, because I know
Until he
he can't
dies.
legally serve more than 2 back-to-back terms. He has to have somebody else in power after that. Then he can go on and start another 2 terms. But this motherfucker is still only 69 years old. What a great number, by the way, 69 years old.
He's always gonna be in power.
No, he's going to be in power until the day he drops that. I mean,
Yeah.
Russia's never had a moment of peace. You know what I mean? Russia's been ruled by like the biggest scumbags of all time. You know?
Yeah. They got to get to like one of his right-hand henchmen and just fucking be like, all right, just kill him for us and we'll fucking
That's
put you
exactly,
into a witness protection
that's
program in the
exactly-
United States. You'll live in the fucking biggest mansion and be claimed as a fucking hero for the rest
No,
of
that's
your life.
exactly what I was looking at. Let me see. Let me pull some stuff up here. What do we got? All right, so look, this is a place. This is first thing. They're getting shelled over here in freaking Ukraine right now.
Yeah, so like, why are you shelling like innocent civilians? Yeah, wait, how is that going to?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Попали нам в газопровод. Во, подлюки. Лупят по нашему дому, по 32-му дому.
They're attacking the building.
Во, скоты.
Yeah, or the house.
Загорелся у нас газ. Вон, видите? Загорелся газ. Наверное, крышу мне побили.
I'm not sure what she means by that.
Oh, that makes sense. That they would be blowing up gas stations or something like that. So I mean, look, the situation is horrible, but yeah, dude, I'm sure some people would say that it might be better under Russian rule or whatever they're saying, but these people are just like
But that's
saying
not
that-
an excuse to go and invade a country.
No. But what I'm saying is because they're so because they're like they don't even care, you know? Because, like I said, they got their independence. Russia knocked over their sandcastle. It's like the same thing that happened to like Lithuania before they got their independence. That's why it took so long for Lithuania to finally get back on its feet because they were getting like destroyed in World War II and they were under like a regime, you know. And Russia, like I said, they don't want to lose their power. They came into Ukraine, Crimea. They took it back. They went into Georgia. Because Georgia was threatening them to get, they wanted independence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then let's not forget about how Putin got into power, too. He'll do anything he has to do. He freaking bombed those buildings in Moscow and blamed it on the Chechens.
Yeah,
if
that
you
guy's a
watch the
fucking nut
documentary Poisoned by Polonium, it's insane. He'll do anything.
He's a fucking political mastermind. He really is. But if only he can use his ability towards something good and leave the world a better place than it is now. The guy could like flip the entire narrative, but he's just being a fucking egotistical psychopath at this point.
He's getting older. He wants to. Go
Unless,
out
like I
with
said, unless there's something else to it. Maybe there's something that we don't know.
I don't think so. I think that's just what it is. It's like I said, look at all these other countries that wanted to gain like independence from Russia. They don't want to let go of that power. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Does Ukraine have any kind of like resources that they want or something?
I mean, I guess they have a straight line to the
Yeah.
European Union there.
Yeah, they would get closer to, like I said, they wouldn't have that much pull. But what happened now, they're getting a bunch of sanctions, and everybody's scared. Like Polak said it before. Polak already knew it, that Putin supplies Europe all of the gas. So all Putin has to do is turn down the gas, and he'll freeze all of Europe. It's the natural gas. It's the Nord Stream.
Well, too bad summer's coming.
Exactly. That's the good thing. But still, they rely on his natural gas.
Then Germany shut down some gas pipeline.
They just did. Yeah, they just shut down Nord Stream 2, which was going to supply Europe with even more gas, and they were going to completely rely on Russia, like completely for all their natural gas.
I'm gonna go take a piss.
Yeah. Let me see. What else I wanted to pull up? Oh, so now with the sanctions coming in and everything, I wanted to show a quick list of the top vodka exports. If anybody's a big drinker or anything, you might want to load up on a couple of these vodkas. We got a Stolichnaya, we got Belugas. You want to get these vodkas because right now the sanctions are low. They're only on like a couple of banks and everything. But the deeper I guess Russia keeps going into Ukraine, we're going to get sanctions on vodka and everything. So load up on your Stolichnas, load up on your Belugas, load up on your Andre. What else?
Wasn't there already a ban on vodka, Russian vodka imports?
That was
because of the gay thing.
That was before.
Oh, yeah. So it's back.
It's back. They weren't gay enough.
Oh.
What else? They got the Cossacks, all of that. So load up on those.
Vodka's gonna be like the last thing to put sanctions on.
Oh, no way. They were going to come for them. Let's see. What else we got here?
What else does Russia export?
I could look it up. Let me see. Oh, and this is horrible. Look at this. This is outside of the U.S. Embassy. You can see a bunch of Andre. Look at this. What's your reaction right here? Russian people going by in Moscow waving their... What are you waving your...
Well, you gotta remember, Moscow is like the only fucking city in Russia that's thriving. Like, it's one of the richest cities in the world. These people are probably like overprivileged kids of like Russian businessmen who have something to gain from this type of war. I mean, except for that one car. That guy looks like he's fucking coming from the village. But like, look, most of these people are actually like willing to have some kind of conflict. Like, they don't want peace.
But I don't understand what they're like to gain from...
And plus, it's just like a Russian fucking like
Prop-
thing. They just like to be like animals like that sometimes.
I think too it could be propaganda as well. Like these guys could be hired, but then again, it's like I don't think they would hire people in their own Moscow. They'd hire them somewhere else to do it because it's so weird. Like, why would you want war? For what reason would you want Russia? Like, I mean, what was the relationship before? I don't think it was that bad, right? With you, Andre, before when you were growing up, was it horrible with Ukraine
No.
and Russia? I mean, were you guys
I mean,
treated
not
as
that I
sick?
remember.
But do you know, like, the general outlook? Is it like that you guys are being treated like second-class citizens? Like, you know, like how the Turkey over there and everything, they actually don't like it because they're treated like second-class citizens.
No, not
and
in
stuff.
in Ukraine. You never experience anything close to that. But I mean, when I grew up over there, Ukrainian was the second language for the most part. At least in the big cities and the eastern side of Ukraine was. In the west, it was always just all Ukrainian.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, when I was growing up, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Arthur, what about you? What's your?
I didn't grow up in Ukraine, but I visited a bunch of times. And I really love the country. I love the people.
Yeah.
I really hope that it's still around so I could go there again, because it's really hard to get into Russia compared to Ukraine.
Is it because you got an American passport and everything like that?
Yeah. So to get into Russia, you need like a sponsorship, and it's just a big process.
Alright, guys, I
Ukraine, you
gotta
could
head
just
out.
get one.
Yo, dude, be safe, careful on driving on the streets.
I'll
Watch
see
out
you
for
when
Russians.
I'll see you when I'm done.
All right, dude, give us a call.
All right, later.
Yeah. All right, so I can put this. Давай. All right, cool. Pull this up a little bit better. All right, let me see. What else we got on this? What we saying? What's the biggest export? Right, that's what we want to find out.
Yeah.
Something like that. Let's see. Anything's going on here. Let's see. Exports.
So gas is one of them.
Yeah. Russia's biggest exports.
Weapons, probably.
Well, natural gas is definitely. Yup, look. Fuels and energy, 63%. Exports, top 3.
Where does it all come from? Like Siberia or something?
Probably deep in there. Yeah, so you got gas, coal, wheat, stuff like that. All right. Let's see this. I want to find this out. Let me see Russia's. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up pull this laptop up closer so it's easier for me to do it now. So we had 3 people on before. Had Andrew come up. All right, there we go. It's a lot easier now. Okay, let me pull up some stuff. What I want to find out too is, okay, Russia's... How many nukes does Russia have?
A lot.
How many nukes does Russia have?
Probably more than they have soldiers.
Let's see. Okay, so Russia has 6,255 nukes. America has 5,000.
That we know of.
That we know of. Okay, so that's not good. That's why Putin was saying, I guess, look, you might have NATO, but we got the most nukes.
Yeah. How many nukes do you actually need to like destroy a country? Not that many.
I don't know how much power one nuke can do. How much power?
Yeah, it depends. Like what kind they have, I guess.
Let's find out what else is going on.
But I mean, it's like 2 atomic bombs, like pretty much destroyed Japan, and those were just atomic bombs. So.
Why don't we watch really quick? Let's see Biden's speech. Let's see what he said. Okay. Let me see. Biden's speech to Russia. So he came out. I thought his speech was pretty good. Let's watch a little bit of it.
Today, I'd like to provide an update on the crisis involving Russia and Ukraine. From the beginning of this crisis, I have been absolutely clear and consistent. The United States is prepared no matter what happens. We are ready with diplomacy to be engaged in diplomacy with Russia and our allies and partners to improve stability and security in Europe as a whole. And we are ready to respond decisively to Russian attack on Ukraine, which is still very much a possibility. Though all the events of the last few weeks and months, this has been our approach, and it remains our approach now. So today I want to speak to the American people about the situation on the ground, the steps we've taken, the actions we're prepared to take, and what's at stake for us and the world, and how this may impact on us here at home. For weeks now, together with our allies and partners, my administration has engaged in non-stop diplomacy. This weekend, I spoke again with President Putin to make clear that we are ready to keep pursuing high-level diplomacy, to reach written understandings among Russia, the United States, and the nations of Europe to address legitimate security concerns, if that's his wish. Their security concerns and ours. President Putin and I agreed that our team should continue to engage toward this end, along with our European allies and partners. Yesterday, the Russian government publicly proposed to continue the diplomacy. I agree. We should give the diplomacy every chance to succeed. And I believe there are real ways to address our respective security concerns. The United States has put on the table concrete ideas to establish a security environment in Europe. We're proposing new arms control measures, new transparency measures, new strategic stability measures. These measures would apply to all parties, NATO and Russia alike. We're willing to make practical, result-oriented steps that can advance our common security. We will not sacrifice basic principles, though. Nations have a right to sovereignty and territorial integrity. They have the freedom to set their own course and choose with whom they will associate. But that still leaves plenty of room for diplomacy and for de-escalation. That's the best way forward for all parties, in our view. We'll continue our diplomatic efforts in close consultation with our allies and our partners. As long as there is hope of diplomatic resolution that prevents the use of force and avoids incredible human suffering that would follow, we will pursue it. The Russian defense minister reported today that some military units are leaving their positions near.
Right, so whatever. They're enacting a bunch of sanctions, but let's see. Let me see. I had a map too. I want to pull up before that. I think this was it. All right, so this is a good one. This is the buildup of that region, right? So hold on, let me see. Can I see it? Perfect. All right, so this is the region that's in question. This is Ukraine, right? So Russia took Crimea back in 2014. These are Russian-backed separatist-held areas right here in this area, right? Mm-hmm. So Putin just threw in a bunch of troops and he invaded.
Yeah.
That's what Biden said, but that's an invasion. Even though Putin's saying that supposedly that this is an independent area now. So they're attacking it, they're taking over, and everybody's sitting back, but they're putting up sanctions. Like I said, Germany paused the Nord Stream line and everything. So, but let's take a look at this, where the Russian troops are positioned. So you can see this is Russia. Belarus, the puppet state, has a bunch of Russian troops. As you can see, they're performing a bunch of military exercises. So they got freaking Ukraine surrounded. Now they're taking this part. So, and they got some troops in Moldova too, which is another puppet state.
They got them surrounded.
They got them surrounded, so there's nothing they could do. They're going to invade, take this area over, and I guess they're going to reassess and see what's going to happen. But what was his name? The people in the UK were saying that this is going to be the biggest war since 1942.
They'll probably go up to the river where it splits.
Well, probably, yeah. They're going to take this over for now. And then, look, so what's going on? The Baltic states right now, you got Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. So if they take over Ukraine, they're going to push right next to Romania. They're next to Poland, even though they got Kaliningrad right there. And Belarus is a puppet state. So now Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, they're going to be crying. Not crying, but I mean they're going to be scared because now they know the next logical step. If you're taking over Europe, you're going to be going for Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and he's going to make a point saying like, "Oh, these countries we took them over in World War II, so now we're going to take them over again."
Right.
Also, I heard Finland, since Finland's not part of NATO, Finland's been scared. They want to join NATO, but also they're not that scared because they had a war with Russia around World War I and they beat them. But another thing is Russia could probably try to invade Finland, try to take over Finland, then get Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, because they're small countries. Who knows if they're going to attack or not?
Any of those countries part of NATO?
Yes. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, they joined it right away. They're really small countries. Estonia has like 1 million, Latvia has 2, Lithuania has 3.
So it's probably not going to be anytime soon.
We don't know that. You know what I mean? Who knows? World War II, nobody did nothing when they invaded Poland.
They'll probably go for Moldova. Well, they already have Moldova.
They already have Moldova. Yeah, that's the thing. They have Moldova. They did the same thing to Georgia. They did the same thing in Georgia when Georgia sucked out. Oh, we're going to be our own country, do everything. But they're like, nope, you're basically a puppet state. Moldova, basically a puppet state. Belarus, a puppet state. Ukraine wants to join NATO, do their own thing. Nope, you're going to be a puppet state. And there's going to be a lot of bloodshed.
They'll wait a long time after they get Ukraine. I don't think they'll do it right away.
No, I don't know. Whatever. So let's say they're all brought in. We're going to have full-blown war.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody's going to do anything about it. I don't think the sanctions are really going to do anything. So.
Yeah. Well, they had, like I said, they have the Nord Stream gas thing, but they don't care about that for now. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, they have their own gas, right? So.
Who does?
Russia.
Well, Russia's providing all the gas to you and everything.
So the one they cut off, the one that Germany cut off, that goes into Russia, or?
No.
No?
No. It's going, look.
So that's from Russia?
Yep.
So they cut off supply to themselves?
No. No. Germany stopped the building of the Nord Stream 2. So look. Right here. This is the Nord Stream. Nord Stream 1. From Russia, the natural gas goes through the Baltic states and it goes right into Germany. And it provides Europe with all the gas. Nord Stream 2 was going to be basically Nord Stream 1 except on steroids. It was going to be like 10 times, providing 10 times more. So by doing that, they would rely on Russia way more. And now, finally, Germany right away said, all right, since you're invading, we're stopping it because we don't want to rely on you.
Yeah.
That's part of one of the sanctions.
But they didn't stop it permanently, just...
They paused it for now, I guess, well, you know what I mean? That's the first step. That's what the same thing, what's his name, Biden is saying, to see how far they're going to go with Ukraine. They're like, we're still willing.
They're going all the way.
But Biden is saying they're willing to stop, to reassess the situation, see where to take it from here.
Right. Yeah, I don't think Putin's going to stop. He's just going to go all the way.
No way. Of course. Why would he do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's, like I said, the bare minimum, he's going to take over the Russian-backed territory, which he was saying, like I said, he was saying supposedly there's a genocide going on there. even though they're like, they're all Russian majority over there. So he's saying that supposedly the Ukrainians are murdering them. He's just using that as an excuse to come in there, take over. Right here. I want to know about Ukrainians. Let's look at this area. Yeah, so he's going to take this area over.
Mm-hmm.
He already has Crimea, and then he's just going to go for all of Ukraine.
That's where my mother's from, Donetsk.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess I'll never visit.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's war that's been going on there for a while now. So
Well, that's what
They're just-
Andre was saying. They're saying that's the same thing on Brighton Beach over there. Nobody
yeah,
cares.
they're just wrapping it up.
Fred, what are you doing over there? Should we get candy? Let me see. So, right now, looking at the liquors.
You gonna stack up?
Oh, everybody has to. The Beluga. So you could buy that on mini bar delivery for $80. Buy on Drizzle, $30. It's gonna double in price at least right now if you don't buy it. $60 easily. Russian Standard. It's a favorite of Russian Alkies on Brighton. $10. I'm saying it's probably gonna be 30. 25, $30. Stolichna. Also, double, triple the price. See, we got to see how far it goes. But yeah, I don't know. It's not looking good.
We gotta start drinking Ukrainian vodka.
Does Ukraine have
Support them.
vodka?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Let me see.
They're lining up the NATO troops in Poland, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not in Poland. They're sending them to Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia too. Let me see right now. NATO troops.
Yeah, I think Americans are going there. American soldiers.
Well, the good thing is America's not messing around. Yep. Are the only NATO. Yeah. You see, they're the only right here. The three Baltic states are the only NATO members directly bordering Russia, apart from Norway.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from Norway. Wait. Norway's not freaking bordering Russia.
I think they mean Baltic. Is Norway Baltic?
No, Scandinavian. Let's see. This is what the numbers are right now. There's nothing but whatever. They're all increasing. They're sending tanks. They're sending Burger King, McDonald's, and stuff. They're stocking up. They said for the Americans, they definitely want to build up more Burger Kings and McDonald's in Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. So that's gonna be good. Yeah, they're sending. Germany. I think they're trying not to get involved, from what I last heard. Like I said, Nord Stream 2, they're stopping, but I believe they were saying not Putin. I'm sorry, Biden was saying they're sending troops to Ukraine. Or on the border of Ukraine, but not as a sign of aggression, just as a sign to protect NATO.
Nobody ever gets involved until the last minute.
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
Well, yeah, why would you, dude, especially why would you want to get involved when there's a guy saying that he has nukes and there will be no winners?
Yeah, now's a bad time. World War III is not going to end well, if there is
Dude,
one.
Seriously, with all the COVID stuff that's going on and everything, finally, like, wanting to put, like, one foot in front of the other and calling it, finally recovering, this is, like, the last thing we would need. This is the last thing we need. Where, like, the world's finally, like, recovering and everything. I don't know. I wonder where China stands with this, though.
China, I think they're allied with Russia, right?
I don't know. Let me see.
China's going to take over Taiwan, probably.
Yeah?
Yeah, they've been wanting to, and Taiwan's actually afraid of Russia invading Ukraine because it's going to show how easy it is to take over, and no one's going to do anything about it.
China backs Russia's security interest and Ukraine's sovereignty. Same time? Oh, okay, so they're on defense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Why would they want to? You know what I mean? Why would they want to right now? You know, that's a good actually move by them. Why would they choose, a side? Okay, so they're not choosing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if China starts invading Taiwan soon too. It could be like planned together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Didn't what's his name have like people have to? What? So what? Have you been to Taiwan?
Just for a layover. haven't entered the
I
country.
think Tim was in Taiwan before. So why do they want Taiwan?
Why? I'm not sure why, but
Let's look at it. And what is, you can get in trouble if you say if you consider Taiwan not a part of China, right? Because China considers it.
yeah. I heard China makes their own maps. And
Taiwan officially the Republic of China. So it says it's officially the part of China, but is it not?
No, it's its own independent country.
And wasn't Hong Kong too before?
Yeah.
Hong Kong was independent because it was the British controlled it, and they said it's not going to be part of China when they gave it up in 1996. 92,
I'm not sure.
something. I think in the 90s, it was like in the early or late, they gave it up. And then right away, China took it over. And I guess it's similar to the same thing what's going on in Europe, where it's like you have Hong Kong, Taiwan, where Taiwan would be like Belarus, it's its own country,
Yeah.
but China's just taking back what it thinks rightfully it's theirs, which it's not.
Right.
So.
I think America's backing Taiwan.
You think what? America's
Yeah,
backing
America's backing Taiwan. With weapons and stuff.
Nothing happened right now with Taiwan, but we got to worry about Russia. Let's see. How far can Russian nukes go? Let's see. Can Russian nukes hit America? Yes. Okay, that's
Probably the West Coast.
in 30 minutes.
Like even during the Cold War. Well, I don't know. They were launching it from where, like Cuba or something. Did they ever launch anything? No, right?
Who did?
Russia. It was just
I
a
think they
misconception.
practiced it,
Yeah.
All right, so it's gonna hit us in 30 minutes.
Which part?
If
Does it
there's
say?
any part. Can Russia hit New York? Let's see. Russia threatened to vaporize U.S. cities. Here are the areas that are most likely to hit. Nice. This is good. That's what I like to
So
hear.
New York's one of them.
The likely targets would be
Maybe spared, it says.
maybe spared highly.
Why are those areas high valued?
Not sure. They probably got something. Maybe they got more nukes over there or something.
Mm.
Nuke sites. Clear storage. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. That's what they would go for. The Pentagon.
Yeah, that makes
All the
sense.
places where we have all like our nukes and whatnot.
I'm sure we have some outside the country too.
Oh, maybe. Blast zone. Let's see how big the blast zone would be. Will we get vaporized quickly or no?
Yeah.
How long would it take? 30 minutes, they said. Alright, so if they launch the bomb, they can hit us in 30 minutes.
Look up the Tsar bomb.
Yeah?
It's like the largest bomb.
I think I saw that.
Like the atomic bombs, so nothing compared to it.
Is this the bomb?
And this is TNT.
Tsar Bomba.
I don't think this is not even a nuclear one, is it?
No, I don't think this could be New York, possibly. Or Ukraine, who knows? If they invade Lithuania or any of the Baltic states, we might.
Yeah, and this
Might
is
be.
like 60 years ago, so they have even better ones. Well, basically, the world's gonna end if that happens.
You ever see? Is this real? Dude, is that a real video? Yeah, that's a real video. 70?
69. He wants to probably go out with a bang.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let's see. What's that other one called? You know what's a good movie right now would be? Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah.
Russians. Toe-to-toe nuclear combat. The Ruskies.
Hello? Hello, Dimitri. Listen,
So they had a
I
Russian
can't hear too
spy
well.
at
Do you
the thing
suppose you
right
could
there.
turn the music down
Yeah.
just a little?
He was drunk.
Oh, that's much better. Yes. Fine, I can hear you now, Dimitri. Clear and plain and coming through fine. I'm coming through fine, too.
Whatever.
There's a cool anime clip of the Hiroshima bombing. I watched it yesterday. Let's see.
How cool was it?
It's pretty nice. Let me see if I could find it.
Let's see if I can find anything else on Russia. Probably can't even get on there. World peace to all you people. Okay. We gotta go to Ukraine. Ukraine. Let's see what's going on there. I want to find out. More protests in Moscow says Russia don't touch Ukraine.
Hello from Ukraine.
Nobody wants to talk to this person. See some Czech people. Oh, look, Lithuania's prime minister. Shame, no limits, dictator. Lithuania's always hated Russians.
Yeah.
Well, Russian leaders, that is. Putin, Hitler. All right, so look, they're comparing. Perfect. This is what we were talking about. This is perfect for us. Putin and Hitler. All right, so back in 1938, Austria occupied. Hitler took over. Sudetenland took over in 38. Then the rest of Czechoslovakia took over in 38. Same thing. Crimea 2014.
Mm-hmm.
14. Next, all of Ukraine. Most likely. Oh, shelling. Right now, that seems like a regular block. They're just doing it just to do it.
Just clearing the way.
Let's see, cyber threats.
YouTube this video is pretty cool.
We got more. It's like you don't hear about this. They're getting straight up the invasion. They're getting bombed and attacked. A lot of people don't get bombed.
Definitely will.
Well, the Ukrainian president said they're not going to give up any of the land to them anymore. So,
And how are they going to do that?
by fighting them and dying, I assume. But I don't know who's willing, who's willing to die for them. Russia evacuating Kiev embassy. Okay. This was 4 hours ago. Okay, so Russia is telling all of the people from Kiev to leave. I'm assuming because it's going to be a huge invasion. With a Belarusian community. But not in Belarus. You can't do that in Belarus.
Right.
You'll get killed. There we go. The tank's coming in. Got videos. We got troops live. We got Russian troops coming.
So where are all the Ukrainian tanks?
Dude, I have no idea. I'm assuming they moved out of that area.
Yeah.
I assume they're outside of that. Which area I was talking about?
Donbass?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're like right outside of that area, because you know it's
Yeah.
the area they assume they're gonna take first. So because they were also fighting the just the Russians in there in general. Because I'm assuming Russia's been arming them.
They've been fighting there for a while, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm assuming Russia's just been giving them weapons, but they're not acknowledging that it's them, you know. But
Вот что творят.
This one. Signed documents. Yeah, this one you signed the document to recognize that those areas are independent, even though it's part of Ukraine. So by he's allowing himself to go in there. Let's see. Poland. That's not good when they're moving in with so many tanks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's not gonna.
I don't think Ukraine stands a chance.
Dude, they're gonna get. It's like they're gonna get overrun like Poland, and in World War II, I think they got taken over in like 10 days.
Pretty much.
In like 10 days. Let me see. Where was that picture before I had Russia's ship? Remember. Let's see.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Let's see. Russia's Navy. I'm gonna try to find that picture of that. Oh, that's some huge weapons. Let's see. Look at this. Russia's army versus. I'm surprised Ukraine has that many tanks. There's no way. Okay, artillery. But wow, what the heck? And storage, I guess if they take everything out of storage, they can completely overrun them. Which they probably already have, by the looks of it. See what else. Let's see what the Baltic states have to do. See what they're saying. Yeah, come on. This is something recent.
The JEF is designed from first principles to be complementary to NATO's deterrence and defence posture. Never has the JEF been more important and relevant than it is today. During the course of our meeting, the Russian Federation has recognized Ukraine's Donetsk and Luhansk regions as independent states, breaching Minsk agreements and international law. All 10 defense ministers are united in our condemnation of that unjustified act, the build-up of Russian forces on the border of Ukraine, and further incursion in the Donbass region. We strongly support the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine and reiterate the right of all sovereign nations to choose their own path, their own security arrangements, and their own alliances, free from external aggression and coercion.
No, whatever, so this guy's just talking the same.
And about the list of extermination, no, we haven't received it officially.
We're in Munich just a few days ago. Russia's aggression toward Ukraine and its rejection of international law and diplomacy have accelerated. Yesterday, President Putin recognized the so-called independence of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions of Ukraine, where violent Russian-backed separatists have been fighting a war since 2014. A few hours later, he gave authorization to Russian troops to enter those regions. For weeks, we've been warning the world that Russia was mobilizing for military aggression against Ukraine. We've made clear that if Russia invaded, the United States and our allies and partners would impose swift and severe consequences. Now that Russia has moved against Ukraine, so too have we moved on our strong and unified response. This afternoon, the President announced the first round of sanctions on Russia in response to its actions. These have been closely coordinated with our allies and partners. We'll continue to escalate our sanctions if Russia escalates its aggression toward Ukraine. Today, we're implementing full blocking sanctions on two large Russian financial institutions, VEB and Bank, both of which have close links to the Kremlin and the Russian military. Collectively, they hold more than $80 billion in assets. These measures will freeze their assets in the United States, prohibit American individuals or businesses from doing any transactions with them, shut them out of the global financial system, and foreclose access to the US dollar. We're expanding our existing sanctions on Russian sovereign debt. We've already prohibited US financial institutions from trading in Russian sovereign debt in the primary market. Now, we're extending that prohibition to the secondary market. These prohibitions will cut off the Russian government from a key avenue by which it raises capital to fund its priorities and will increase future financing costs. They also deny Russia access to key U.S. markets and investors. Starting today, we'll impose sanctions on members of the Russian elite and their family members, all of whom directly benefit from their connections with the Kremlin. Other Russian elites and their family members are on notice that additional actions could be taken against them. These steps are in addition to the executive order President Biden issued yesterday to prohibit new investment, trade, and...
Yeah, well, hopefully, like we were saying, like the more they do this, they're going to piss off the people in power. Obviously, Putin's the head guy, but if they keep pissing off more people, maybe Putin will end up getting whacked, getting taken out, and some other animal's going to get in, but at least maybe he'll be less of an animal. But you never know when that happens, you know what I mean? It's like a power vacuum happens, and then it seems like always a crazier guy or a crazier group of people always come into power.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen? I don't know.
You look scared. You look worried.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jeez. You're not worried?
I don't know.
What do you think? So you think World War III is going to happen?
Maybe, but not anytime soon, though.
Good. Continue watching.
Financing by Americans to, from, and in the so-called DNR and LNR regions. And, just as the President said we would do, today the Department of Defense announced that we would be sending additional forces to NATO's eastern flank to deter and defend against any Russian aggression directed at our allies. We also made clear that if Russia invaded Ukraine, we would act with Germany to ensure that the Nord Stream 2 pipeline does not move forward. Today, Chancellor Scholz announced that the German government is suspending that pipeline indefinitely. We've been in close consultation with Germany throughout this process. We welcome this swift and decisive action. And we're executing a plan in close coordination with allies and partners to secure the stability of global energy supplies, which is in all of our interests. The United States and our allies and partners are united in the face of Russian aggression. This morning, the European Union and the United Kingdom announced a series of strong complementary actions. President Putin's deeply disturbing speech yesterday and his statements today made clear to the world how he views Ukraine, not as a sovereign nation with the right to territorial integrity and independence, but rather as a creation of Russia and therefore subordinate to Russia. It's a completely false assertion that ignores history, international law, and the tens of millions of patriotic Ukrainians who are proud citizens of a free and independent Ukraine. Now that we've heard it directly from President Putin himself, it confirms what we've been saying, that he did not send more than 150,000 troops to the Ukrainian border because of benign military exercises, or to respond to threatened aggression from Ukraine, or to stop a fabricated genocide by Ukraine, or any other manufactured reason. His plan all along has been to invade Ukraine, to control Ukraine and its people, to destroy Ukraine's democracy, which offers a stark contrast to the autocracy that he leads, to reclaim Ukraine as a part of Russia. That's why this is the greatest threat to security in Europe since World War II. Ukraine is in danger. President Putin is blatantly and violently breaking the laws and principles that have kept the peace across Europe and around the world for decades. Yesterday, at an emergency session of the UN Security Council requested by Ukraine, the United States and many other countries condemned Russia's renewed attack on Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity as a violation of international law and the United Nations Charter. U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield underscored that President Putin has now torn to shreds the Minsk agreements, which sought to end the conflict in the Donbass region of Ukraine peacefully through diplomacy. President Putin himself essentially declared those agreements null and void. The complete abdication of Russia's commitments under the Minsk agreements is just the latest demonstration of Russia's hypocrisy when it comes to the agreements that it claims to seek and to uphold. Since the beginning of this Russian-manufactured crisis, Moscow has insisted that only legally binding agreements could satisfy its security concerns. But the Minsk agreements now join a long line of agreements, many legally binding, that President Putin has broken. These include the Helsinki Final Act, in which all OSCE countries, including Russia, pledged to respect national sovereignty and territorial integrity and refrain from the threat of the use of force. The Charter of Paris.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back a bit later. But yeah, that's what he's saying. And anyway, we're gonna keep an eye on this. We're gonna keep updating everybody. This looks like the start of World War III. Troops are heading over to the Baltic states. We're getting armed up. We're getting ready. And one way or another, Putin's going down. It's not going to last, but we'll be back later.